Peace, family. Well, I'm happy to announce that Don Lemon is out of jail, but I want to focus on my opinion is on how he ended up in jail in the first place. Well, we all know that when Jimmy Kimmel spoke against Donald Trump went out of his way to try to get him taken off the air, threatened not to approve a merger that Disney was trying to do. Totally outside of the realm of his authority as president. You're supposed to be acting in the best interest of the people. Your personal feelings has nothing to do with that. And now we see Don Lemon, who's also been very vocal against Donald Trump and Nicki Minaj. And you see what happened. You had him arrested for trespassing. That's barely a misdemeanor. And see, Don Lemon has been doing the news for like around 30 years or so. How is it possible that a 30-year veteran of his craft, in reporting the news, can put himself in a situation where now he's arrested for trespassing? It's an impossibility. Never has Don Lemon been accused, charged, or arrested for anything that he's done in reporting the information to the people. I believe it's more than just a coincidence that Don Lemon has been very vocal against Donald Trump and Nicki Minaj, and now he's been arrested. And see, what I see going on in society today puts me in the mindset of a movie called Judge Dredd. And Judge Dredd is a movie that starred Sylvester Stallone, and basically the police was elevated to the level of judges, where they were empowered with the ability, the powers to detain, arrest, judge, and execute at their discretion. When I look at ICE and their actions and behaviors, it is almost a mirror image of will happen in Judge Dredd. And when you combine that with the fact that Donald Trump has infused this court system with hundreds of judges, not based on their knowledge of law, but on their loyalty to him, you have now changed the essence of what the courts is, or what they once stood for. And now you got the power, the ability now to make a law so vague that you will have a judge sign off on it and get this man arrested. And the reason why you did that is because you wanted to get Don Lemon off the air. And you knew you had nothing on him. And you knew that you did not have no real reason, or he would do nothing really out that blatant to be arrested. He's not going to literally kick in the door, break through a window, or anything like that that everybody can see that he done broke the law. You brought up this vague trespassing charge and had this man's rights, freedoms, and privileges denied because of trespassing. And when you put this out to the media, when you put this out to society, people will say, well, he had to been doing something for him to be arrested for trespassing. Where was he at? What did he do? It's so vague that now people would use that information, that lack of clarity, to justify Don Lemon being put in jail. And see, and this is, I don't know what type of system this is, but this is the most corrupt system of government that I have ever been associated with, that I have any knowledge of. The things that they were saying that Putin was doing, and the guy from Hungary and all these other dictators, is nothing compared to what this administration have done. ICE alone has killed or unalived like 36 people last year, and like 9 to 10, 12 people this year alone. And in the movie Judge Dredd, what made that so poignant today is that Donald Trump was saying how all these migrants are coming into the community. They're flooding millions and millions of migrants into this country. criminals, drug dealers, mental asylums, they're all pouring into the United States. Well, in Judge Dredd, they were mega cities because the system of government had been destroyed. And as society was trying to capture some resemblance of their former life, they was flooding existing communities. And these mega cities were cities that was originally designed to house like 1 point something million people, now found themselves 2 and 3 times the capacity. And it became almost impossible to maintain order. So what did they do? Part of the plan, the strategy was to lower the standards of the law. So it would give the judges more power to arrest, to get the people off the streets. Because when you have that many people in there, public services it's hard to be met. People are becoming more and more violent, and you're overwhelming the infrastructure that wasn't designed to handle this type of capacity. And now, what has that got to do with ICE? I just seen a video the other day where this woman in Minnesota, in the shadows of Renee Good and Alex Preddy being assassinated by ICE, called this woman a domestic terrorist. And why? Because she was videotaping them. And she's like, videotaping? You're crazy. And let me say this. I'm going to commend not only this white woman, but I'm going to commend some of these white people. You are antagonizing a military force that has already unalived dozens of people in their short tenure. And you're continuing to do it. So I'm gonna give you an applaud, but I'm not gonna say this invite you to the cookout though. Why? Because number one, it's not enough good white people to ever make a difference, and it's never been happen. They've never been a part of anything that stops evil. But there are some good ones out there that's challenging the system, but they'll never organize and they'll never industrialize around putting this system at bay. Because when you have a system of government this corrupt, and this blatantly corrupt, and you still try to encourage black people to not only support it but remain in it and not separate from you, like I say, I commend you for your effort, your bravery. But despite all that, you still never be invited, not to no cookout that I'm gonna have be attached to, associated with. But this should be a blatant call for our people to see that this system is so corrupt that it's incapable of being saved. It's incapable of being preserved. And it is time for us to now start building for ourselves. And like I said, if you need more evidence than this, when you start snatching public celebrities off the air on some frivolous, it's nuts. You talking about you actually trespassing? You actually arrested Don Lemon, 30 years in the business, for trespassing? You gonna fill the jails? You know what? I'm not even going. I know I'm gonna end this video here. And as always, these are my thoughts, my opinions. I invite you to leave yours in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Ashe.